Hi guys, this is part 4 of my DV story. This part is about the guy that almost took out my left eye. It came within, the doctor was telling, ER doctor told me within a few centimeters of being permanently taken off the retina. Yeah. So basically my eye was hanging out of the socket. And I thank God that thank the universe that it did heal eventually. But there was so much pain in that eye, this left eye, that for months after, like weeks later, I was still having bad headaches. I remember just sitting there like this, like I was in pain. I was in pain. I was in pain. I was in pain. The pain just, and that's why I was hurting so bad, because it was severely damaged. And it wasn't able to open for a while. When they opened it, they had to slowly open it and, wash their hands, put gloves on, and open it, rinse it out, and cover it. They actually had to cover it with an eye shield, gauze and eye shield patch, eye patch. And I thank God for those wonderful doctors over there. And but anyway, the guy, because that doctor told me, he said, "Miss, make sure you continue to go to court." He said, because if you don't go to court, if you don't file charges, and I see you back in here in my ER, he took authority. I love that. Caucasian doctor, young, wasn't bad looking. And he said after he finished treating me, he wasn't nasty or anything. He said, but if I see you back in here, I'm calling the police myself. And I was like, okay. I said, thank you. I said, yes, sir. I remember just dropping my head because I felt shame. I felt so shameful. I felt ashamed of what I had put myself through. And I had to show my mother. And when my kids came back home, I had to show them. I had to go to work like that. It was horrible. I had to take that patch off my eye. I had to show my mom. She was like, oh my God. I had to show her what had happened. She said, what was wrong with him? I said, I don't know, Mom. I don't know what happened. He just snapped. My kids saw it too. My daughter and my son, younger two, were there with me when I took it off and showed my mom. I did not want them to see that, but I wasn't even thinking clear at the time. So I'm sorry about the tears sometimes. I'm sorry, but they just flow. And yeah, but these guys, they try to apologize to you. And one more person I want to thank. It was a great bus driver back in Chicago on the 35th Street route that I used to catch in the morning, 35th and Cottage Grove. And he was nice to me. I'm like, so everybody out here is not mean and nasty, right? Because I was coming across decent men, but they weren't in my life. I'm like, what's with this universe? What are you trying to tell me? So a lot of times I just end up staying by myself for a while and just, trying to figure things out for myself and keep myself safe, And so yeah, he was a nice older gentleman, bus driver, CTA driver. He would let me and my children get on the bus for free. And that day I had to go back to work. I had been dropping my head. Like everybody I came in contact with, I just dropped my head because I was ashamed of how I looked. I was ashamed of letting that guy control me, even for those few minutes that he did. And he tried to put shame on me. He tried to shame me. And I remember the guy just taking his hand like he always used to do. He would just be like, I would put in a few coins and he was put his hand up on the CTA box. He would just say, that's all you have to pay. His gentle touch. He wouldn't slam his hand on me or anything. His gentle touch. Just say. And I would smile and go and sit down because sometimes I would only pay a few pennies. Sometimes he would just He wouldn't charge me anything. Just go ahead. Just hand me the transfers. He was one of the sweetest gentlemen I've ever met in my life. He never tried to hit on me or anything. But he was so nice to me. And anytime we were running late for the bus, he would stop. He would wait for me. I said, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. He was so nice to me. Oh, my God. So nice. Such a beautiful spirit. And the day that I went and got my car, I told him, I'm going to go get me a car this weekend. He said, oh, I ain't going to see you no more. I said, no. And then the following Monday, I stood outside waited for him to drive up. I said, I got my car. Here she is. He said, oh, congratulations. I said, thank you. And then I saw him like a few months later after I was just going through downtown or something. I said, hey, I remember you. He met me on the bus again. He was like, come on, get on here. So there are some great men out there, ladies. But when you go through these situations, if you're not careful, you'll keep picking up the same men over and over and over and over and over. And but anyway, this one was trying to call me, kept harassing me, kept saying he was sorry, it won't happen again. And the thing that I've learned with these guys is that it will happen again. But I didn't let it happen again with him. He kept calling my phone after the police fixed it. I don't even know where he went to keep calling me like that. Like, oh, he had went home to his mom's house and he just kept calling me and kept calling me. And I'm like, why are you? And I picked up the phone. I'm like, I just remember don't call me no more. I remember just slamming the phone down on him. And he kept calling me. I mean, like I had to literally unplug the phone from the outlet. Not the cord anymore, but I just, you know how you can unplug the phone to keep it from ringing? Because I just kept seeing, I think we had caller ID then, and he just kept calling and calling. And once I saw it was him, but the phone would just keep ringing because it didn't have like an answering machine at that time on it. So this guy kept calling me all night. I didn't go to work the next day. I think I had called in like 2 days. And it was just a mess. Like, I just put up with so much. Like, why? But I'm thankful to be here now. But the first time he put his hands on me was the last time. Because after dealing with that with my husband, I went straight into a relationship with the same nonsense. Like, that's why I said, you know, you got to get it together, girl. This is crazy. This is crazy, Sophia. You got to get it together. Because these guys are out here trying to take you out. And it could have happened with either situation. But this guy was just a boyfriend. And he snapped one day and just went crazy. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm over this already. I'm over it. I'm over this. But yeah, it's crazy. But later on in life, I went on to meet another one because I never changed the paradigm of what my expectation was for a man. I never made them earn me. I always gave myself to a man, whether he earned me or not. And I'm just being real here. This is real talk here. Real talk. I'm not perfect. I've never been perfect, never will be perfect. But I gave myself to men who didn't deserve a conversation. I gave myself to men who didn't deserve to be in my space, my personal space. They didn't deserve to hold this diamond because they were like pigs trying to pick up a diamond. They were like swine. They didn't appreciate it. So they should never have been in my company. And you know, it's crazy that I allowed that. But and I had to get out of that mindset that that's all I deserved. Like, that was all I was going to get. Because, see, the first one set it up, the whole scenario up for the second one and the third one. So every time I went, I changed men, but they were the same men, if that makes sense. They were the same person. Same criticizing me, not being happy for me, not being able to celebrate me, just tolerating me, not really valuing me. Like, once they got me, that was like, okay, what else do I need to do? Like, that was it. They had no aspirations to support me. It was always a criticism. I never did anything right for any of them. And you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. They all had the same mindsets. Same mindsets. But they wanted to be in my personal space. They wanted to be in my life. And when I got rid of this guy, Mr. J, he was like, oh, you should give me another chance. It just happened one time. No, I'm not giving you another chance. I didn't give him another chance. I'm like, no. You almost knocked my eye out, sir. Are you crazy? Because I wouldn't give you money? So you decided to harm me? Are you crazy? And let his mom know. Well, he said you tried to hit him. That was her response. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Your son almost took my eye out, my left eye out, and you're telling me it was my fault? So yeah, and I've learned that these mothers are so supportive of their sorry sons that are, I mean, it's just my experience. Like, I'm not saying, like I said, I met some great men over the years, but they just weren't part of my life. They were great men, great, from what I could tell, but I didn't have them in my life. And I really had to step back and say, what is wrong that I'm keep drawing the same type of men? Like, what is the problem? And I really had to go and dig deep to figure out what was the problem. I had to find out, why was I accepting that? Because they can apologize. And ladies, don't let them sit up and apologize to you. Don't let them do that, because it means nothing. And that one got mad because I wouldn't let him come back around me and be around. I'm like, no, you're not ever invited back to my apartment. No, you don't ever have to come around me again. No, we're going to court. And you know what they gave him? They gave him, the judge, when I took the bandage off, the judge said, okay, he looked in my eye. Even the judge, he was like, his face was like, he was like, wow. And when he looked at my left eye, after I took the eye patch off, I told you my eye came within so many centimeters from the ER doctor was telling me my retina was knocked off, almost knocked out. Like, my eye was literally hanging from its socket. And had he hit me so many centimeters or diameters lower, I wouldn't have my left eye today. I would have been gone like that. So I had nothing else to say to him. And when we went to court, the judge looked at me. The judge even, he felt sorry for me. He said, there'll continue to be no contact. And I had to get a restraining order, of course, because I worked around his family member. And his mom like, well, you got him restricted from coming out there seeing his grandmama. And blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that's why I say some of these mothers, they support the nonsense. So I got to see it happen too many times. I've experienced it. And the judge was like, okay, we'll continue the restraining order for a year. Or what's it, 6 months? 6 months, and then he put him on 1 year probation. 1 year probation and 6 more months of the restraining order and 1 year probation. So if he did come back and try to do something, then but while we were at court in the hallway, he came walking past me, mumbling under his breath. While I had an advocate there with me, a lady advocate, but nowadays I think they need to elevate that to security. This was at the Cook County Circuit Court and Domestic Violence Unit. I forgot what floor it was on, right up downtown on Michigan Avenue at that time. And I'm like, this is crazy. He was able to walk past me. Nowadays, they need security guards as advocates. I'm sorry, but women, because it's putting everybody at risk. So, But he kept apologizing. Oh, you know, I'm sorry. It only happened one time, baby. Oh, I mean, he was crying the crocodile tears and everything. He just kept calling me. When I did listen to him, he just kept calling me and said, you didn't have to do that. I know, I'm so sorry. Please, baby, please listen to me. Please listen to me. I don't think I had caller ID at that time. I may not have had it then. I don't even remember because that was with that landline phone where you had to, I know they kept ringing if you didn't answer them or something. I think, it may have, I don't know, remember all these details, but I know he kept calling my phone every 2 minutes. Like, if I had a text message, he would have been sending me like 100 text messages because he kept calling me. I couldn't get any sleep, kept calling me. After I went to the ER, I waited on my friend to come and get me from the ER. Kept calling me. Oh, baby, you know, I'm sorry. The next couple of days, he kept calling me. You know, I want to see you. I'm like, heck no. You're not seeing me, sir. And he just kept calling me. And eventually, he got the message like, don't come around me no more. I meant what I said. You ain't got to be like that. You know, because when they apologize, their apologies mean basically nothing. Their apology means that if you stick around, I'm going to do it again, sweetheart. I'm going to be right back. And every time, like with my husband, every time it just got worse and worse and worse. Like with this guy, he just popped out of the blue and just snapped off on me one weekend. One night we were together, one Friday night or whatever, going into the weekend, he just decided to snap off on me. And I'm like, it was just crazy. It was ridiculous. Like, he got mad because I refused to give him any money. My money, my hard-earned money. And started talking crazy to me. And I told him to get out. He said, just get out of here. And he snatched my telephone cord out the wall. It could have got real ugly because I was living on the 15th floor at that time. So I'm very thankful to the universe that I was protected. And I remember I used to always feel that way, like I am protected, I am protected, I am protected. And I used to say that to myself sometimes, I am protected, I am protected, I am protected. But it just taught me a lesson that, you know, and sometimes you don't know when these guys may go off. And that's why I say, ladies, just be extra choosy out there. When they show you who they are, believe them. Don't believe the lies with the apologies. The apologies mean absolutely nothing at all. So keep yourself safe out there. I love you, my diamonds. I hope this story helps one precious diamond, one precious soul, if not more. And please leave me some comments below to let me know what you are thinking and if there's any topics you want me to address about DV. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Peace and abundance. Love, peace and abundance. Love you all.